General, here's the President. Please, everybody have a seat. Let me, first of all, just thank Ken and the entire...
I hear that Dr. Joe Medicine Crow was around, and so I want to give a shout-out to that Congressional Medal of Honor winner. Good to see you. Lay ahead for Native Americans as well as collaboration with our administration. But as some of you might have heard, there has been a tragic shooting at the Fort Hood Army Base in Texas. We don't yet know all the details at this moment. We will share them as we get them.
"14 years ago today, on this morning, Americans were shocked by a tragedy in Oklahoma City. The first time, there was no Department of Homeland Security, the first time many Americans used the term or heard the term Homeland Security. And people in that city will gather today, and I believe we have a live picture of it, for a commemoration marking the 14th anniversary. As we reflect on that day 14 years ago, it is your job now to keep that from happening again. Are we at a greater risk of domestic terrorism events like that today, or lesser?
I think we're at a greater state of readiness. The threat of terrorism, whether from a foreign source or domestic source, is now just, it's with us. We have to acknowledge that. We have to minimize the risk of it, and we have to be ready to deal with it. And I think with the Department of Homeland Security, all the changes that have occurred since Oklahoma City, since 9/11, there has been improvement.
As you know, a recent report from your department raised a lot of eyebrows and caused a bit of controversy, because in that report you said this, that the Department of Homeland Security assesses that right-wing extremists will attempt to recruit and radicalize returning veterans in order to exploit their skills and knowledge derived from military training and combat. The willingness of a small percentage of military personnel to join the extremist groups during the 1990s because they were disgruntled, disillusioned, or suffering from the psychological effects of war is being replicated today. Is being replicated today. You have active intelligence that tells you people coming back from Iraq, coming back from Afghanistan, who might be mad at the military, who might simply have post-traumatic stress disorder, are being actively recruited by extremist groups?
Certainly, and our department is not the only department that has made that comment. The FBI has made the same comment. Other groups have made the same comment. Here's the important point. The report is not saying that veterans are extremists. Far from it. What it is saying is returning veterans are targets of right-wing extremist groups that are trying to recruit those to commit violent acts within the country. We want to do all we can to prevent that.
Well, when you say will attempt, who are these groups? What do they want to do?
Well, it's a number of groups, almost far too numerous to mention, regrettably so. But some of them, indeed, want to do what happened in Oklahoma City. That is, commit violent acts within the homeland. And again, Department of Homeland Security, we were stood up because of a terrorist act, 9/11. But that came on the heels of Oklahoma City, which was a domestically caused terrorist act. So one of our missions that Congress has given us and that we do is try to keep everybody informed. What are the kinds of things that can lead to an act of violence? But in this case, where are groups recruiting? As
you know, veterans groups and some conservative critics of the administration have raised hell, excuse my language, about the use of the term, about veterans there. What specifically do you see happening? And you're talking active investigations where a veteran comes home. How do they reach out to him?
Well, a number of ways. There can be a number of ways of doing it. It can be word of mouth. It can be the internet. All kinds of ways to reach out. That's why the Obama administration wants to work with returning vets, make sure they've got health care, education opportunities, job opportunities, all the like.
Spoken person. She's one of those quiet heroes that we have all across America, who, they're not famous, their names aren't in the newspapers, but each and every day they work hard. They look after their families. They sacrifice for their children and their grandchildren. They aren't seeking the limelight. All they try to do is just do.